Good evening and welcome to another live high school football edition on BayPreps.com. Tonight we have two of the best teams in the Bay Area as the Campolindo Cougars, the defending Division III NCS champions from a year ago, go up against the El Cerrito Gauchos. Both these teams come in with records of 3-0, and we're going to see a couple of top-notch quarterbacks on display, including Campolindo senior Brett Stevens. El Cerrito is led by junior quarterback Keelan Benjamin, and they have also one of the top players in the Bay Area that we'll see plenty of tonight, and that is their outstanding cornerback and running back Marcellus Pippins, senior. I am Pat O'Rourke. With me is Jerry Gerard. He is the cameraman and producer. This is another live football broadcast presentation on BayPreps.com. Great matchup. Two 3-0 teams that have had little trouble in their first three games. Campolindo, when you look at the strength of schedules, probably played the toughest team with their 28-7 win last week against Sacred Heart Cathedral in a game played at Kezar Stadium. We're getting ready for the opening kickoff, and we've got a helicopter flying overhead here. So you get a look at it there. Pretty cool. Before we start off the game here in Moraga, we had a nice, before the national anthem, before this broadcast, a tribute to the victims of September 11th, 2001. And now we are going to be ready for the start of this game. Campolindo, of course, kicking off to El Cerrito. Campo, the team in blue with the white pants and the red outline. And it seems like teams are lined up, Ron, in terms on they're going to switch opposite sides of the field. So Campolindo is going to be kicking off from left to right. We don't see that very often. Campolindo wins over Moreau Catholic 48-28 in their opener, 41-14 over St. Patrick St. Vincent's, and the 28-7 win at Kezar last week. El Cerrito 62-7, they beat San Lorenzo. The toughest opponent they've played was Newark Memorial, a team that is one of the favorites in the Mission Valley Athletic League. 44-7, though, was the win for El Cerrito there. And then last week they beat Kennedy of Richmond by the final score of 64-8. So Cookie Antizana, outstanding kicker for Campolindo, an all-league kicker last year, who kicked the game-winning field goal in the win against Marin Catholic in the NCS title game, boots this one into the end zone for the touchback, and El Cerrito will start at the 20. Campolindo's got 46 players on their varsity roster, and El Cerrito with 25. So you notice in the sidelines, a lot more players on Campolindo's sideline than the Gauchos. Gauchos coming off a season, a 7-3-1 record a year ago. They were ousted in the first round, a close loss to Eureka. Keelan Benjamin out that spread set with three receivers to his left. One goes in motion. On the fly sweep, the handoff goes to Marshawn Ardoin. And Ardoin gets good yardage over on the far side of the field, about 5 for the running back, who has scored 5 touchdowns on the young season. His only 100-yard rushing effort was in that 62-7 win against San Lorenzo. 2nd down and 5 for the Gauchos, coached by Kenny Kahn. Campolindo coached by Kevin Macy. Handoff coming the other way this time. And Marquise Pippins has good yardage before he's dragged down out of bounds right in front of the Campolindo sideline. That was actually Keith Benjamin on the carry for El Cerrito, and he gets about 15. Number of players can handle the ball for El Cerrito. A lot of talent at the skill positions for the Gauchos. They'll run up the middle for the first time, and not much doing there as a number of blue shirts converge. Among them was Patrick Calvis, the 6'2", 190-pound senior defensive end. A gain of 1. Keelan Benjamin yet to throw. He's been a part of 7 touchdowns already through 3 games for the Gauchos. Now that pistol set. He's going to run some option, going to keep it, and will get stuffed. Again, a good job by the Campolindo defense. Tyler Petit on the stop, junior defensive end at 6'4", 220 pounds. Let's see if the Gauchos throw for the first time on 3rd down and 9 from their own 41. Benjamin does want to throw. Far sideline, airmails that one. No chance for the intended target, Jalen Harvey, who's one of the top receivers around. But no chance. The 6'1", 185-pound senior can go up and get that one. Even if he were 8'1", he would have had a hard time getting that ball. Fourth down coming up for the Gauchos, and obviously they'll punt. So Windat back to return. And the punt by James Rice. Windat calling for a fair catch, and he'll make it inside his 30-yard line. So we'll see the Campolindo offense for a first time, an offense that's averaging 39 points per game through their first 3 contests. 10:20 to go in the opening quarter. Pat O'Rourke with you. Jerry Gerard, the cameraman and producer here on BayPreps.com. Campo starts at their own 28. So Brett Stevens, 5'11", 185-pound senior behind center. Calls a man in motion. And they'll keep it on the ground on first down and get a couple. Nicky Akawa's a back, but also John Santaguida, and now with Santaguida on the carry. And he'll get a couple. They did lose Ryan Hoffman to injury, a tough injury there, broken fibula, and he's going to be out about 6 weeks. So that certainly hurts the Campolindo running game, and we talked about that in our interview with Kevin Macy that you can hear on BayPreps.com. All sorts of movement by the Campolindo, a big-time unbalanced line, kind of like what you see sometimes from the 49ers, and they'll keep it on the ground over the right side, and this is going to be a first down. So the formation of that unbalanced line, and it leads to a good carry for Santaguida as he gets about 8. First down and 10. Again, running that unbalanced line from their own 38, and they'll switch to the other side. And they'll run over that side, but this time Santaguida is stuffed, and a great tackle made by Jalen Harvey coming up from his linebacker position, 6'1", 185-pound junior. We told you his prowess on the receiving end, but he can also play some defense. Second down and 11 for the Cougars. Scoreless first quarter, just under 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Trip set off to Stevens' right. Nobody in the backfield. Wants to pass. That was Windat coming on motion. He'll make the catch, forced out in front of the El Cerrito bench, and it will bring up a 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and about 8 after that 3-yard reception. Windat, the top returning receiver from last year's team. Stevens last year threw for nearly 3,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and of those yards, 564 of them went to Windat, who had 23 catches and averaged 24.5 yards per catch and 6 touchdowns a year ago for these Cougars. But now he's the number 1 guy. And teams know that coming in, but he still is having a good season up to this point. 10 catches, 203 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 3rd down and 8 Again, an empty set. Stevens, short pass to Windat again. Evades one tackler, but will be brought down. Good job on the pursuit by Austin Harper. 5'8", 170-pound senior brings down Windat for no gain. And Campolindo will have to punt. So each team gets one first down and then sputters on their first possession. Justin Dunn, also the punter on this team, very good receiver as well, and he punts this one out of bounds, and a big shot as that one went out of bounds. It's going to be a flag on Marcellus Pippins. Not a smart play there. Pippins looking to deliver a shot, but that punt had already gone out of bounds by the time he delivered that shot, and it's going to be a personal foul penalty against the Gauchos, our first penalty of the game. Pippins, outstanding player, who was a Division I recruit. And I don't know if he was trying to send a message, but let's see how both teams respond after that personal foul. We know the Gauchos aren't going to get good field position out of it. Instead of starting their 31, they start at the 16. 7:41 to play in the opening quarter. Great matchup tonight for Moraga. Beautiful night in Moraga. Keelan Benjamin gives the pitch. And a good job running the option there as good yardage is gained by Marshawn Ardoin. Keelan Benjamin, the twin of Keith Benjamin, who we saw get a 15-yard carry earlier. This gain is going to be about 12 yards for Ardoin. And you saw Keelan Benjamin do a good job there holding on to the football until the last instant, making the right decision there and not willing to take the shot. Straight handoff to Ardoin, and the Campolindo defense doing a good job on the runs between the tackles. Patrick Calvis again among those in on the stop. Ardoin's have 4 carries for 20 yards. Campolindo, dream season a year ago, 14-1. NCS Division III champions and nearly a state title, losing in that state bowl game down in Carson to Washington Union. A 21-16 loss. Rolling is Benjamin. He wants to throw. And his pass is going to be caught. Oh, what a one-handed catch. Beautifully done by our Darius Pickett. A sweet, sweet catch. You will not find many better catches than that one in week 3 than that one-handed snare by Pickett. So El Cerrito, who was at their 16, now inside Campolindo territory at the 46. And Benjamin on the keeper is going to get out of bounds in front of the El Cerrito bench. That was a 24-yard gain on the play before to Pickett. And now Benjamin gets 5. From the Campolindo 40, second down. Again, the yards tough to come by between the tackles. Calvis and J.D. McPhee, the middle linebacker, 210-pound senior in on the stop. These two teams, two of the very best in Division III in the NorCal Bowl rankings. Campolindo is second, and El Cerrito is 6th. Give you an idea of how good these teams are in all of Northern California in those Division III rankings. The pitch, not much room to run for Ardoin, and he is going to be brought down. The pursuit made by Tyler Luckhurst, the senior cornerback, brings him down for a loss, setting up 4th down. So a loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 4th down and 7. Gauchos now 0 for 2 on 3rd down. And they'll punt as James Rice is standing at about his own 45-yard line. Scoreless first quarter, 5:06 to play in the quarter. And we've got a timeout on the field called by the visiting team. Call Michael Mowry, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mowry at CNA Equity be your bridge to your most profitable equity partners. Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria, the place to go after the game, open late, full bar, longtime supporter of high school sports on the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio and Walnut Creek. Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria. Great food all the time down at Rocco's, no matter when you go in and no matter what you order, although the order of choice for many is the delicious pizzas, a variety of pizzas they have down at Rocco's. So El Cerrito is punting for the second time. And James Rice kicks this one on the far side of the field. It's going to lead to a fair catch inside the 15-yard line by Justin Dunn. So Campolindo starts at their 14. Exactly 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. And we've got a penalty on the play. The only penalty we had up to that point was a personal foul penalty, but now we've got an encroachment penalty against the Gauchos. These teams played a year ago, and Kevin Macy really felt that was kind of a springboard to his team's dream season. It was a very close 16-13 Campolindo win when they played at El Cerrito. At the time, the Cougars went to 3-0, and they won 11 more games in a row after that. Of course, 14-0 before that State Bowl loss to Washington Union, and they just drew another offsides penalty against El Cerrito. So the Gauchos got to get their heads into this one defensively here. They had a good defensive stand the first time Campolindo had the football, but 2 encroachment penalties, and the Cougars are now at the 24. There is another flag that comes down as the carry goes over the right side. And Santa Guida with what was going to be his 4th carry of the game, but legal formation against the Cougars, their first penalty. Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com. We do a lot of interviews with coaches throughout the Bay Area. Also preview upcoming games and cover more than just football, but also all the fall sports like cross country, volleyball, golf, women's tennis, and also boys and girls water polo. It's 1st down and 15 as we've seen 3 straight penalties. No flags on the field here as Stevens throws, and it is going to be incomplete. Unable to make the catch. Diving to the turf was Jack Davis. Stevens early on, 2 of 3 passing for 3 yards. A couple short completions to Windat. So 2nd down for the Cougars from their 19 with 4:03 to go in the quarter, and we're going to have a substitution. Nikki Aikawa, 5'5", 150-pound senior. You notice him when he's on the field by his small stature. He checks into the game for Petit. He's in the backfield. Aikawa is. Stevens, though, looking to throw on 2nd and 15. Near sideline, pass complete. The timing route to Windat, and it's going to be close to a 1st down. couple yards shy. So Stevens has 3 completions, all to Windat, a 5'10", 175-pound senior. A defensive battle a year ago, and it's started that way. Thus far. Unbalanced line again for Campolindo over that right side. The ball on the near right hash. And they'll run over that side again, and this is Nicky Akawa, or Santaguida, I should say. And he gets the first down on the 3rd and 2. He picks up about 4. So the Cougars get their 3rd first down of the game. Cougars want to control the clock. And they're off to a good start in this drive, which started at their 14. Again, the unbalanced line. This time, Stevens runs it on a sneak. He takes a big shot, tries to keep moving forward, and he does fall forward for about 3. Shows the toughness of Stevens there, 185-pound senior who is going to be playing baseball at UCLA next year. Of course, a part of the Campolindo's NCS championship team. It's won 3 straight NCS titles. Just a fantastic talent at second base. And UCLA, fortunate to have him. A lot of his teammates are going to Cal. So there'll be some rivalry among those Campolindo baseball players in the coming years. Stevens worried about football right now as he gives the handoff to the man running left. That's Windat. Windat's got a lot of room on that far side, and he steps out of bounds on El Cerrito's half of midfield. Call it a gain of 16 for Windat there. He runs the other way, and he'll be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Windat had 3 carries for 16 yards on the season coming into this game. Campolindo on El Cerrito's half of the field for the first time. It is 2nd down and 10 from the Gauchos' 47. 2 very good quarterbacks on display and just 2 really good teams. Brett Stevens, one of the top players around, is under center. Trying to set up the short pass, and it is going to be caught. Thrown a little bit behind Isaac Christian. Or actually, was that... I believe that was Christian. He's limps off the field a little bit after the gain of 7. So it's 3rd down and 3, just outside the El Cerrito 40. El Cerrito showing blitz, and they jumped again. That's going to be their 3rd offsides penalty of this possession. So they're hurting themselves. And this is what Campolindo wanted to do in terms of controlling the clock. Their second possession. They started with 5 minutes to go in the quarter, and we've got 1:21 to play in the opening quarter. And they have it at the El Cerrito 35. Man goes in motion. Nobody ready for that snap count. Stevens unable to handle the high snap. There's a battle for the loose ball. We might have our first turnover. We do. El Cerrito football. I think everybody on a different snap count there than the center. Stevens wasn't ready for that one. It was high anyway. And we've got a turnover as El Cerrito starts at their own 38. This their third possession and their best field position with 54 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Benjamin out of that pistol set, looking to throw. Far side of the field, pass caught by his favorite target, Jalen Harvey, and a gain of about 6. Second down and 6 for El Cerrito. The team in white wanting to throw. Great move by Benjamin to escape a tackler. Turns it upfield, and he gets the first down as he gets close to midfield. And that might be the final play of the quarter. 7 seconds. El Cerrito does hurry. To the line, but they are not going to get this play off in time. That is the end of the opening quarter. The Gauchos on their third possession. This game is scoreless. First down for El Cerrito. They've got 4 first downs. Started at their own 16 the last possession. Got inside Campolindo territory, but ultimately stalled. They do have 74 yards of offense as we start the second quarter. Keelan Benjamin. 2 receivers set to each side. Ardoin behind him. He's going to call Keith Benjamin in motion, his twin brother, and getting the carry up the middle. And that was Quentin Anderson on the carry. Anderson, 5'11", 230-pound junior. Benjamin can evade tacklers, and he does a couple there. Somehow stays on his feet and is going to get the first down. What a run. That was tremendous. That was Coach Kevin Macy's one of his biggest concerns was trying to bring down Keelan Benjamin, who was so good ad-libbing and avoiding tacklers, and he did so there and gets the first down. That's one for the highlight books. He had a ton of blue shirts surrounding him. Wanting to throw. Across the middle, has got a man. It is going to be complete to Keith Benjamin for a first down, close to the 25. Keelan Benjamin, 3 of 4 through the air for 43 yards. He also has 19 yards rushing. Two receivers set to each side. He wants to throw. Rolling. Steps up, throws it to the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught. Or no, incomplete. It looked like it was going to be caught, but a good hit made by Joe Holden from his safety position to knock that ball away, and we've got a hurt Cougar right now on the field. And that's Tyler Petit. 10:28 to go in the first half. El Cerrito inside Cougar territory for the second time at the Campolindo 26. They started at their own 38, and now El Cerrito's going to use up their second timeout. Pat O'Rourke with you as we have El Cerrito on their third possession. Campolindo has had a couple of possessions. They moved the ball the second time they had the ball, but unable to get any points. And because of a fumble on a snap that seemed to catch the Cougar offense off guard. So it's second down and 10 for El Cerrito from the Cougar 26. Fake the hand off the middle, give it to the man running left. That's Marcellus Pippins, and he does not have far to go. Third down and 8 yards to go after that short gain by Pippins. This El Cerrito team got 25 guys, but they've got a couple Benjamins and they've got a couple Pippins. Third down and 8 from the 24. Now the pistol set. Campolindo fans making some noise. Pass high, and it's going to be intercepted off the deflection. Tyler Luckhurst picks it off, runs down the near sideline. He's got blockers in front, and he'll be knocked out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Campolindo thinking that might have been a late hit on Ardoin. Big interception return for Luckhurst. Momentum appeared to be going El Cerrito's way, but that deflected pass picked off. And this throw was a little high from Keelan Benjamin, but still should have been caught. So Campolindo starts with 9:40 to go in the quarter at the El Cerrito 43. Stevens on the option keeps it and takes it inside the 40. So each side with a turnover. Score of note to fans around here. You talk about team of potential Division III playoff team and the team Campolindo beat in last year's NCS title game. Marin Catholic is tied with Justin Siena at 7 as they play in the second quarter. Stevens out of the gun. It's Windat in motion. Fakes it to him. Spins away from one tackler and is able to get positive yardage out of it. And that's what a senior quarterback will do, making the most out of nothing. Another score of note when you're talking about NCS Division III teams. Bishop O'Dowd is playing Sacred Heart Cathedral, same team Campolindo beat last week. And Sacred Heart Cathedral leads O'Dowd 14-7 in the opening quarter. Third down for the Campolindo offense. Third down and along 2, and we're going to get a penalty, a false start penalty against the Cougars. So that one hurts. Manageable 3rd and 2. Now, obviously a lot tougher when you're talking about 3rd and 7. From the El Cerrito 40. They're 1 for 2 on third down thus far. And now we've got a timeout called by the Campolindo bench. El Cerrito's used up 2 timeouts. Campolindo uses up their first. 7:59 to play in the opening quarter. No score. Each side with the turnover. Third down and 7 coming up for Campolindo out of the timeout. Let's see what the Cougars offensive staff draws up here. Very good coaching staff here at Campolindo. And Brett Stevens out of the shotgun set with 2 receivers set to each side. And now we've got a whistle as Isaac Christian was going in motion. And Campolindo's going to go backwards again. And that was a delay of game out of the timeout. So the Cougars showing a lack of discipline here. Third down and 12. This is a spot of the field where you could see it going for it on fourth down, especially if they get about 8 or so on this third down play. Stevens trying to set up a screen, but it's incomplete. Looking for Christian. So the defense is holding strong like they did in last year's meeting, a 16-13 Campolindo win. In that game, though, Stevens had his lowest output of the year, passing-wise, with just 115 yards. His only other low total was 144. So by far his lowest total last year is the punt from Justin Dunn as he tries to angle it out of bounds. And it's going to end up being a short punt. And El Cerrito, after about a 20-yard punt, is going to take over at the 25. You can tell Campolindo does not want to get the El Cerrito return game involved. They've got a number of guys. I told you the skill position so strong at El Cerrito. A number of guys that can make some people miss. They've got it at their own 25, 7:50 to go in the first half. Still looking for our first score. And Campolindo defense swarming. Brings the ball carrier down at the line of scrimmage. That was Ardoin. Ryan Hooper, outside linebacker, a senior, with the stop. And now Campolindo deciding whether they want to accept the penalty or not. And they will, to make it first down and 20. And El Cerrito already 5 penalties. Or actually, they declined that penalty. And here is a pass deep down the field, and that is nearly picked off. Is it picked off? It is. Mason Windack coming over to pick that pass off. So the second interception for the Campolindo secondary. A brand new secondary for the Cougars this season. That was really one of the strengths of their team a year ago. They picked off a ton of passes last year, about 43 interceptions last season. And that is their 5th interception of this season and their second of this game. Stevens fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and gets about 5. We've seen Campolindo on El Cerrito's half of the field quite a bit. Stevens having some problems with a brace, knee brace, and just going to take it off and toss it to the sideline. Helping him out there was Justin Dunn. 6:55 to go in the first half. No score. Campolindo's been held to 68 yards of offense. They're averaging 383 yards a game in their first 3 contests. Stevens wanting to throw, wide open down the field, but incomplete. Threw it too far, intended for Jack Davis. Not often you'll see Stevens miss with a pass like that. He had Davis wide open. He's looking at the sideline for the next play, hands on his hips, and clearly a little frustrated with himself. He is 4 of 7 for 23 yards, and he missed 6 points there. 3rd down and 5. Has some time. Now rushed and brought down. So a loss on the play for Stevens of about 6. And Campolindo will punt once again. This will be their 3rd punt. They have 1 fumble. El Cerrito's got 2 punts and 2 interceptions. And Dunn again kicking this one out of bounds, and a very good kick by Dunn. It's overall a 29-yard net, and I think Coach Macy will take that all night. .5:48 to play in the first half. Another look at the El Cerrito offense. Interceptions have ended the last 2 drives. They keep it on the ground, and Marshawn Ardoin takes a big shot. Good hit applied there by Ryan Hooper, the outside linebacker. But Ardoin gets 8. 8 carries for 26 yards for Ardoin. Second down and 2. Wanting to throw, setting up that screen pass. But the Campolindo defense is waiting, and it's going to be a loss. Nowhere to go for Keith Benjamin. There's Andrew Ahazi in on the stop. Third down for the Gauchos. They have yet to convert a 3rd down. 3rd and about 4. Looking to throw Benjamin. Near sideline pass is going to be complete. Close to a 1st down. Jalen Harvey in on the reception. And that is a 1st down. Harvey knew where that 1st down marker was. .420 to play in the first half. As a man goes in motion, Keith Benjamin. Keelan Benjamin rolls that way. Steps up, passes, far sideline. This is Harvey again. Forced out in front of the El Cerrito bench. That was, I should say, Keith Benjamin on the reception. And that's what the ad-libbing Coach Macy was talking about in our interview. It's just keeping plays alive. Kenny Kahn, El Cerrito's head coach, talked about it as well. Kahn in his 5th season at the helm of the Gauchos, 28-17-1. He succeeded George Austin here. And he has to be happy with that 8-yard gain by Keith Benjamin on the pass from his twin brother, Keelan. Keelan rolls right. Again, avoids the blue shirt, steps up near the line of scrimmage, down the field. He had a man, but overshot James Rice. So each quarterback has missed a receiver downfield. Although let's say that time Rice might have stopped running. But each side having an opportunity for 6 there. And I'll say Keelan Benjamin was very close to passing the line of scrimmage there, but I believe he did get that one off before he crossed it. So it's 3rd down and 2. Gauchos just converted 1 3rd down. 4:03 to play in the first half. No score. Ardoin, good carry over the left side and down the sideline. He is tripped up by the ankles. Jack Davis saving a touchdown there. But it's coming back. Holding penalty against the Gauchos. Their last penalty was declined, so that is officially their 5th penalty of the night. They need to get to the 48-yard line for a first down, so it is 3rd down and 13. At halftime, we'll recap the scoring, which seems pretty easy at this point. Keelan Benjamin across the middle of the field, nearly another interception. It will be off another deflection. Going down to a knee to make the pick was Andrew Zolantakis, the 3rd interception of this first half. And that was just a terribly thrown ball by Benjamin in traffic. A lot of blue shirts in the area. So 3 different Cougar players have come up with interceptions. And with 3:37 to go in the first half, they start at their own 43. Stevens with 2 receivers set to each side. The senior quarterback, we had movement on Campolindo, and there's the penalty as Justin Dunn started moving a little bit too early. 4th penalty on the Cougars. Both teams' offenses have sputtered. And they've each picked up their share of penalties. El Cerrito certainly had a few bigger plays. Campolindo has not had a big play up to this point. As Stevens wants to throw, pass is incomplete. Dunn couldn't hold on the first time. He nearly had a second chance. Biggest play for Campolindo thus far was a 13-yard pass play from Stevens to Windat. That's the only play that produced double-figure yardage. Whereas El Cerrito has had 4 such plays. 2nd down and 15. Stevens is going to run. Flag comes down as he steps out of bounds. Was going to be a gain of about 6, but the flag makes you think this is going to be coming back. Holding penalty against the Cougars. So they have 5 penalties for 30 yards. El Cerrito's got 5 penalties for 40 yards. I should point out these are not replacement officials. These guys are the real deal, and they're doing a good job in this scoreless game in the second quarter. 3:25 remaining. These teams among the top 10 in the NorCal Bowl rankings. El Cerrito got to get more respect in our rankings on BayPreps.com and Harold Aben's rankings. He has Campolindo ranked 10th, but doesn't rank El Cerrito at all among the top teams in the Bay Area. As getting tackled after the short completion was Jack Davis. Inside 3 minutes ago, and it's 3rd and a mile. Technically 3rd and 25. Campolindo at their own 28. They're 1 for 3 on 3rd down. Stevens on the draw, nowhere to go. And he takes a big shot from the El Cerrito defense, which has come ready to play. Arduano Mendoza on the stop. Just 62 yards of offense for Campolindo in this first half. I have to say, even after though it was a defensive game last year, I expected more points from the board in this contest, and the defense is playing well, and they're hitting hard. Justin Dunn's punt is going to go way out of bounds, and it's going to be a very short punt. El Cerrito's going to get great field position with 1:54 to go in the half, and let's see if they can take advantage. They have thrown interceptions on 3 straight possessions, and they'll try to capitalize on this 11-yard punt. They'll take over at the Campolindo 40-yard line. It's one of the tough things when you're trying to angle out of bounds. If you miss it, it can lead to great field position for the opposition. And now we've got a penalty against the Gauchos coming up, I believe. Yes, a procedure penalty. El Cerrito, 3 turnovers, 45 yards and penalties. They maybe will feel fortunate that this game is tied and that they have the ball in the final couple minutes of the first half. Pump faking is Keelan Benjamin. He's got a lot of time, but he throws in. It's picked off once again. Mason Windat down the near sideline. Windat hoping for 6. He's got Benjamin the beat, and Benjamin will take him down inside the 20. 4 straight interceptions for Keelan Benjamin, and Windat's got a couple of them, and this one sets up the Cougars in the red zone. They'll start at the El Cerrito 17 with 1:41 to play in the first half. And again, Benjamin just a bad decision there. This is his first year as a varsity quarterback, and obviously facing much better competition than what El Cerrito saw in the first 3 games. They beat San Lorenzo, Newark Memorial, and Kennedy of Richmond. And Campolindo, a big step up from those 3 teams. And some of those passes have sailed. There was one pass that certainly was a deflection that was not necessarily Benjamin's fault, but these last couple clearly passes he should not have thrown. And now it's up to the El Cerrito defense, or the El Cerrito defense to try to stop Campolindo here with 1:41 to go in the first half. Campolindo's got 1 turnover. They were the first team to turn the ball over on a errant snap. But 4 straight Gaucho possessions have ended in picks. A Campo defense that thrived on interceptions a year ago. Campolindo defense has played well through 3.5 games, allowing 268 yards per game coming into this contest. 1st and 10. It's the deepest they've been. And they'll keep it on the ground with Christian. Campolindo wanting to hurry up here. The clock is running, 1:25 and going and rolling in the quarter. That 5-yard gain by Christian. He goes in motion. Nearly ran into Stevens there. Gets the handoff and takes it inside the 10. Shy of the first down. The Cougars do have a couple timeouts left. They can be patient here at this spot of the field. Inside a minute to go now on 3rd and 2 from the 10. And we've got a penalty, I believe. Well, didn't see actual flag on the field, but it is going to be an offsides penalty against the Gauchos. 7th penalty against El Cerrito. And that gives Campolindo the first down. It's 1st and goal. The clock will restart here. Campolindo does have a timeout. 1st and goal from the 5. Stevens rolling to his right. Throws incomplete. He's looking for Justin Dunn. Stevens, 5 of 10 in the first half for 23 yards. El Cerrito defense doing a really good job against him. His drive started because of the interception by Windat, his 2nd interception of the game. It started at El Cerrito's 17, and right now they're at their 5. 2nd and goal. 27 seconds to play in the half. Campolindo's got a couple timeouts. Wanting to throw a fade. Pass incomplete. Reaching all out but unable to come up with it was Christian. So it's 3rd down and goal. I'm calling it the 4. 26 seconds left in the half, and El Cerrito, or Campolindo, is going to use up a timeout. And they still have 1 timeout to go with 26 seconds left in the half. Call Michael Mowry, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert, at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mowry at CNA Equity be your bridge to your most profitable equity partners. That's Michael Mowry at CNA Equity. Pat O'Rourke with you, Jerry Gerard, the producer and cameraman. I'm the one broadcasting but also running the scoreboard, and I haven't had too much work running that scoreboard, obviously, if it being a scoreless game and 26 seconds left in the first half. El Cerrito, or Campolindo, trying to change that. Got a couple cracks at the end zone here. Of course, they could kick a field goal if they don't get in here. They've got a very good kicker. Stevens behind center. Christian in motion. Stevens rolling right, looking near the pylon. Caught! Touchdown! Mason Windat on the reception. And the Cougars get the score just before halftime. with 19 seconds to play in the second quarter. That was very similar to the first down play. This time they were able to get Windat near that pylon area. Here's the extra point try by Antizana. That is good. Campolindo leads by the score of 7-0. That's big for the Cougars. You know, it would have been demoralizing if they went into half with, I wouldn't say demoralizing, but it would have been a disappointment if they went into the half with no points after coming up with 4 interceptions. They do capitalize on that fourth pick. 5 plays, 17 yards, and it took a minute 22. Stevens to Windat. A 4-yard touchdown pass. And fittingly, Windat makes the touchdown catch. He's the one who picked off the pass that set him up at the El Cerrito 17, his second interception of this game. And the kickoff is going to go out of bounds. That will be a penalty against Campolindo, but El Cerrito's only got 19 seconds to work with here and no timeouts. And we'll see if they go for it. In terms of go for it, taking a few shots to the end zone, I'm not sure they'll do that with the 4 interceptions that Benjamin has thrown. Last couple of them have sparked big returns. Well, he is out of the gun. They do have a lot of playmakers that can score from any part of the field. And here is Jalen Harvey, one of those playmakers, trying to run over a Cougar player. And it'll be an 11-yard gain. Benjamin has got some time here. Rolls right. Now he's going to run near the far sideline. He'll step out with 6 seconds on Campo's half of the field. It's 2nd down and 4, but you've got time for 1 play here. Unless it's a real quick play, maybe 2. Might find out a lot about Benjamin's arm strength here as they have the football at the Campolindo 48. He's on El Cerrito's half of the field as he takes the shotgun snap. And he will be brought down. And that will be the final play of the first half. Campolindo capitalizes on Keelan Benjamin's 4th interception, a 17-yard drive. Stevens to win that, the touchdown, and Campolindo takes that 7-0 lead into the halftime break. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. Pat O'Rourke with you to recap the first half as far as statistics and scoring. Of course, this was a scoreless game and a game that was scoreless until 19 seconds left in the first half when Brett Stevens found Mason Windat on a 4-yard touchdown pass, capitalizing on El Cerrito's 4th interception of the half. And that is the only scoring we have. The Antizana extra point after that touchdown. It makes it 7-0 at the break. This is a game in which El Cerrito has moved the ball more effectively than Campolindo, but you can't turn the ball over 4 times in most games, but particularly a game like this one. El Cerrito has 140 total yards compared to 74 for Campolindo. The Gauchos have 74 on the ground, 66 passing. Campolindo, 47 yards rushing and just 27 yards passing, and that's for an offense that averages over 252 yards passing in their first 3 games. Individually, for El Cerrito, Marshawn Ardoin has 8 carries for 26 yards. Keith Benjamin, 1 carry, 15 yards. Quentin Anderson, 1 carry, 4 yards. And Marcellus Pippins has 1 carry for 2 yards. Keelan Benjamin, passing-wise, is 7 of 14 for 66 yards with those 4 interceptions. On the ground, he has 6 carries for 27 yards. As far as his receivers, Jalen Harvey, 3 catches, 23 yards. Benjamin, 3 catches, 19 yards, Keith Benjamin. And Adarius Pickett had that nice one-handed catch for 24 yards. Gauchos hurting themselves with penalties, 7 penalties for 50 yards. Campolindo has 5 penalties for 30 yards. Individually for the Cougars, Brett Stevens is 6 of 12 for 27 yards with that touchdown. He also has 6 carries for 10 yards. Santa Guida has 4 carries for 13 yards. Windat, 2 carries, 16 yards. And Christian, 2 carries, 8 yards. Receiving-wise, Windat 4 catches for 20 yards and that touchdown. Christian 1 catch, 7 yards, and Davis has 1 catch for 0 yards. Again, 140 total yards for El Cerrito, 74 for Campolindo, but 4 turnovers for the Gauchos compared to 1 for the Cougars. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. It's 7-0 Campolindo at the half. We'll take another break on the audio side on BayPreps.com. Campolindo leads El Cerrito 7-0, and the Cougars will get the ball first to start the second half. El Cerrito hurting themselves with 4 interceptions in that first half, even though they outgained the Cougars by 66 yards. The El Cerrito defense, though, has played very well, holding this high-powered Campolindo offense to 74 total yards. Pat O'Rourke with you here on BayPreps.com. Our first kickoff from El Cerrito's side, and it's going to bounce inside the 10 and will be returned from about the 2. And unable to get to 20. The ball came out, and El Cerrito fell on it. So turnovers, the story in the first half, and a turnover to start this second half. So on the opening kickoff, Campolindo gives it to the Gauchos, who have their best field position of the night, obviously, and this is the deepest they have been in Campo territory. You would think El Cerrito would keep it on the ground here. As they carry, running right, Ardoin, he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. One play, they capitalize on the Campolindo turnover. And El Cerrito is on the board. An extra point away from tying this game up. One play, 18 yards. Took 6 seconds. And El Cerrito's going to go for 2 here to try to take the lead. It's Ardoin, great move. Can he get across the goal line? Yes, the 2-point conversion, and the Gauchos. Big momentum shift to start this second half. Have taken the lead. But hold it. There's a flag down. So wipe away that 2-point conversion. And now El Cerrito, who is obviously not very confident in their kicking game. They've gone for 2 quite a bit. Now they're going to try to score from the 8-yard line. And it's a bad snap, picking it up off the ground is Keelan Benjamin, and he throws it high in the air, and it is caught. He threw the jump ball up, and Jalen Harvey went up and got it, using all of his vertical there. And El Cerrito scores in the 2-point conversion from 8 yards out to make it 8-7. Campolindo returns the ensuing kickoff. Very short kickoff, and they will take over. Now trailing for the first time. 11:44 to go in the third quarter. Keep it right here and tell a friend about this one. This is a very good matchup, and each team capitalizing on recent turnovers as the Cougars keep it on the ground for a few yards. Stevens wanting to throw, looking for the fade on this near side, and just over the outstretched reach. Austin Rye wearing number 26 tonight instead of Ryan Hoffman, who's hurt. And so a little bit of confusion there as that pass was intended for Rye. He's been in the game a few other times, and there's a pass that's nearly picked off by Harvey. He leaps in the air knowing he should have picked off that ball intended for Justin Dunn. Couple incompletions for Stevens there. Unfortunate that last one wasn't picked off, so the momentum has shifted in this game. Here's Dunn's punt, trying to angle this one towards the sideline. It's a very good punt, unable to handle it, but luckily for him, it goes out of bounds as Marcellus Pippins could not hold on. And we'll see the Gauchos offense once again. It took just one play for them to score their first touchdown of this game, their first play of the second half after the Campolindo fumble on the kickoff. Now the Gauchos will take over at their 33. 10:48 to go in the third quarter. Pass across the middle, dropped. Keith Benjamin could not hold on. Well, Cerrito's got a lot of confidence in their quarterback, and Keelan Benjamin. Still a little surprised, though, if their ground game getting some yards, that they are throwing as much as they are with the 4 interceptions. And that pass, was it caught? It was, but it's a minimal gain. In fact, pretty much no gain there for Harvey. So 3rd down and 10. Throwing again. Benjamin, though, as a flag comes down, gets taken down after a couple yards. Amundo's on the stop was Patrick Calvis, who has been in on quite a few stops from his defensive end spot, and Campolindo's going to decline this penalty, the hold against El Cerrito, because it's going to be 4th down. So the Gauchos will punt. We have seen 6 turnovers in this game, 4 for El Cerrito, but they are in the lead. They punted on their first 3 possessions, but haven't punted since with all the turnovers and the touchdown in the last possession. But now getting a crack at it is James Rice, and it's a good punt. Bounces to the Campolindo 30, takes a Gaucho bounce, rolls all the way inside the 10, And it's still rolling. And we'll stop at the Campolindo 6. Wow. That's a punt of about 55 yards. And Campolindo has their worst field position of the night. .9:26 to play in the third quarter. And movement again. The Gauchos have hurt themselves with encroachment penalties, and they just picked up another one. And quite a few of them have been when they've had Campolindo pinned inside their 20. That's the third offsides penalty they've had when they've had Campolindo inside the 20. 8 penalties on the night. First down and 5. Ball is actually at the 11-yard line. And nowhere to go. For Santa Guida. Nicky Akawa, surprised he hasn't had a carry for Campolindo. .30 carries, 145 yards, and a touchdown coming into this game. Second down and 5. Gauchos showing blitz, and they back off. Stevens has time. Far side, pass is going to be caught. That was Austin Rye. He's wearing that number 26. That was Ryan Hoffman's number, and he gets a big gainer all the way to El Cerrito's 49-yard line. 40 yards on the reception. Biggest play of the night by far for the Cougars, who have been limited in big plays. They've only had a couple plays for 10 yards or more before that 40-yard gain. Rye goes in motion. Flag comes down. Said Austin Rye, but that's actually Philip Rye. There is a flag on this play after the gain of 6, and that will move Campolindo back. They've had some penalties of their own. That's their 6th of the night. .808 to play in the third quarter. This was a scoreless game until Campolindo scored with 19 seconds left in the first half. Make it 7-0 at the break. And El Cerrito scored just 12 seconds into the third quarter. On a touchdown run by Ardoin, a 2-point conversion as well to make it 8-7. So here's Stevens getting his pass batted down. Jalen Harvey, well, he is pumped up for this game. Saw him deliver a shot as a receiver trying to run over a Campolindo player. And every time he makes a play, he is letting everybody know it. It's second down and 15. There is a lot of talent on El Cerrito. Not to say there isn't any talent on Campolindo, but you're talking about overall speed and athleticism. This Gauchos team has the edge. Short pass, complete to Windat. About 4. Windat 5 catches, 24 yards. A lot of short catches tonight. He does have the Campolindo touchdown. Third down and 11 here. We'll see if he's a target. Campolindo is 2 of 6 on third down. 7:18 remaining in the third. Stevens is going to run for it. A flag comes down, and he is tripped up inside the 45-yard line. And it looks like this is going to be against El Cerrito. Brett Stevens, at least, is pointing that way as he walks over towards the Campolindo sideline. There's been a lot of laundry on the field tonight. Oh, yeah, defensive holding penalty. I believe they're going to say that they were holding Mason Windat. An illegal contact penalty. Nonetheless, it's a first down for the Cougars. As they are all the way up to the El Cerrito 33-yard line, trying to reclaim the lead. Windat gets the handoff running right. Tries to spread this one out, but he takes a big shot as he's taken down. Marcellus Pippins among those coming up and making the stop. Just a yard gain for Windat, who's got 3 carries for 17 yards. And we're going to get a timeout. Our first timeout of the second half called by the Gauchos bench. They used up a few of their timeouts in the first half in that opening quarter, and they use up one here in the third quarter with a 2nd down and 9 coming up. 6:05 remaining in the third, and the Gauchos holding an 8-7 lead. Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria, the place to go after the game. Open late, full bar. Longtime supporter of high school sports in the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek. Rocco's, not just the place to go after the game, but for the game as well. If you're talking about college football on Saturday and the NFL on Sundays, Mondays, and of course NFL games on every Thursday night now. Check it out at Rocco's. Great food, great scenery. They've got live music often on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays down at Rocco's, the place to be in the East Bay and on the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek. Now we've got a Moraga team and a El Cerrito team obviously playing here tonight, but still people make that trek to Walnut Creek, and Rocco's. Not going to find better food when you're in the area than when you're at Rocco's. 2nd down at 9. Three receivers to Stevens' left. He's going to run it himself, though. Design run for the quarterback, and he gets a few. 13 yards rushing for Stevens tonight. Came into this game with 41 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Campolindo has won 17 of their last 18 games. 3-0 this year, 48-28 win at Moreau, 41-14 against St. Patrick, St. Vincent, and 28-7 last week at Kezar against Sacred Heart Cathedral. Rye in motion. Stevens wanting to throw far side's got his man. Windat has the first down as he steps out of bounds. Not sure how Windat, his favorite target, got so wide open underneath there. Wonder if there was almost a pick play where one of the El Cerrito corners maybe picked off each other, as a couple of them are yelling at each other. Ends up as a 16-yard gain. 87 yards passing on the night for the Campolindo quarterback. And now we've got a timeout called by Campolindo's bench. So each side has used up a timeout. 5:21 to go in the third quarter. It's 8-7 El Cerrito. Good game tonight going on in the South Bay. Palo Alto and Mitty. They are tied at 14. De La Salle leads St. Mary's of Stockton 14-0. And St. Mary's actually is within 8 points of De La Salle at the half. It's 14-6 at the half in Concord. De La Salle won that game easily a year ago, 35-0. Sacred Heart Cathedral leads Bishop O'Dowd 20-14 in the third quarter there. O'Dowd, of course, a Division III contender like these two teams. First and 10 from the El Cerrito 17. Philip Rye gets the handoff. Takes it inside the 15. About 5. So the ball now at the El Cerrito 12. 2nd and 5. Rye gets it again. And it looks like he gets the first down to the 6. And Campolindo's got first and goal. On the doorstep, trying to reclaim this lead. Fumbled on the opening kickoff of the second half, and El Cerrito scored on the very next play on a touchdown run by Marshawn Ardoin. 2-point conversion made it 8-7. Now with 4:26 to go in the third, Campolindo's got first and goal from the 6. Rye gets the handoff. This time El Cerrito's ready for him as they nearly put him in a headlock to bring him down. Second down and goal. Good possession here for Campolindo, though. They've eaten up over 5.5 minutes since starting way back at their own 5-yard line. Remember that punt? So now here they are at the El Cerrito 5. And this is Nicky Akawa getting the carry, his first of the night, looking for the goal line. There's the signal, touchdown. With 3:38 to go in the third quarter, Nicky Akawa. Akawa scores from 5 yards out. And what a drive for the Cougars, a 95-yard drive. The extra point to make it a 6-point game. And Antizana is automatic. Campolindo is in front. That was a 9-play, 95-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 48 seconds. And Campolindo's up 6. And here is a booming kickoff that will be a touchback. So El Cerrito starts at the 20. .338 to go in the third quarter. And nothing doing for Marshawn Ardoin, who has scored El Cerrito's only touchdown. Ten carries, 45 yards for Ardoin. Long time to throw for Benjamin, and his pass is underthrown, and no signal from the official whether that's caught or not. There's a flag in El Cerrito's backfield anyway, and it is going to be a catch for about 4 yards. But this will be a holding penalty against El Cerrito. They're asking the Campolindo sideline. I don't know why Campolindo would decline this. They're going to move him back, of course. It's going to be 2nd and 20. You certainly would take that over a 3rd down and 5. And that's now 10 penalties on the night for the Gauchos for 75 yards. That and 4 turnovers, and maybe they're fortunate to be down only 6. Pass near sideline, wide open is Keith Benjamin, and he is knocked out of bounds. Well shy of the 1st down, but they get about halfway to that marker. About 10. From Keelan Benjamin to Keith Benjamin. Keelan Benjamin is 9 of 17 through the air for 76 yards and 4 interceptions. And he'll be throwing here, I'm sure, on 3rd and 10. Of course, he can make something happen with his legs if he's in trouble. And there comes the rush, and he's going to try to run away from it, but he'll be taken down. He took a big shot near the end of that run by Patrick Calvis, who has been around the football all night for the Campolindo D. And very slow to get up is Keelan Benjamin. Well, he took one of those shots that makes you worry when about a possible concussion, as he was halfway down, and he's still very slow going off the field on the far side. Get a look at him there. He took a huge shot, and he's not really even moving his right arm. Now he's going over to talk to his coaches. So El Cerrito's going to punt. They're just 1 for 5 on 3rd down tonight after failing there. And this is going to take another Gaucho bounce. Campolindo returners have let the last couple punts bounce, and El Cerrito's been able to pick up about 15 yards, extra yards out of it on this one. On the other one, they picked up about 25. But still, Campolindo will have a 6-point lead and the football. With 1:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. Campolindo's offense stymied most of the night, but very impressive. A 9-play, 95-yard drive. It took 5 minutes and 48 seconds the last time they had the ball, capped by the Aikawa touchdown run. Both these teams gearing up for league play. They both play their league openers next week. Both these teams 3-0 coming into this one. Here's Aikawa, who had the touchdown on his first carry of the game last time, and here he gets maybe 1 or 2. And both these teams will have tough league openers. Campolindo will be a favored team certainly over Akalani's, but the Dons 3-0. One of those wins was a forfeit win, but 3-0 entering tonight as they are playing Tennyson. And El Cerrito will play a team that's 3-0 entering tonight in Valley Christian. A couple contenders in the TCAL Rock Division. El Cerrito will be a favorite in that game, but Valley Christian very good as the pass is incomplete, intended for Rye. Stevens. Nine of 19 tonight for 87 yards and a touchdown. 1:06 to go in the third quarter. The Campolindo offense is 2 for 6 on third down. Stevens looks like he might be changing something up at this line of scrimmage. Has plenty of time. Looks to heave it down this near side, looking for Dunn, but overthrows him. And Campolindo will have to punt. So El Cerrito defense, again, doing a great job with the exception of that 195-yard drive Campolindo had last time. And Campolindo's defense obviously doing very well. These teams played to a 16-13 score a year ago, won by the Cougars. Low snap on the punt. Dunn boots it away. This is returnable for the Gauchos, and Marcellus Pippins evades a couple tacklers down the far sidelines. Knocked out in front of the Gauchos bench. And Dunn took a big shot from an El Cerrito player after the ball carrier had gone out of bounds and his teammates checking on him. So El Cerrito starts inside Campolindo territory for the third time at the Cougar 35. 48 seconds to play in the third. Handoff, Ardoin. Ardoin, big hole over the left side. Has the first down, close to the 20. $14 yards for the 6'1", 205-pound senior. He's got 59 yards on the night. I think El Cerrito just should stick with this ground game. It's been much more effective than the passing game tonight. It's not that it has produced a ton of yards, but just hasn't been that committed to it as Ardoin gets maybe about one. They have 113 yards on the ground tonight, do the Gauchos. Second down and 9 coming up. Great battle here. Scoreless most of the first half. Campolindo scored after the fourth interception of the first half by El Cerrito. Campolindo scored on a short field to go up 7-0 at the half. But El Cerrito, after a fumbled kickoff return, scored on a touchdown run and then two-point conversion to make it 8-7. And now we're at the end of the third quarter after Campolindo capped a 95-yard drive to go up 14-8. El Cerrito is driving at the inside the Campolindo 20-yard line. Northgate leads Las Lomas 14-3 in the third quarter. Las Lomas came into the season expecting to be a contender if Campolindo might drop to 1-3 tonight, although there's a lot of time left in that game. Pittsburgh bouncing back after a blowout loss to Monte Vista last week. They lead Berkeley 24-0. Bishop O'Dowd now trailing 27-14 to Sacred Heart Cathedral in the fourth quarter. Second down and 8 yards to go. Ball at the 19. Play action. Benjamin looking to throw. Heaves it up in the air, and it is incomplete. With these talented receivers, sometimes you just got to throw it up and let them make a play, although that's kind of got Benjamin in trouble when he tries to throw across the middle of the field, but you can get away with that more along the sidelines. And now El Cerrito's going to get a big break here as we've got a roughing the passer penalty against Campolindo. That's going to give El Cerrito half the distance to the goal after that roughing the passer penalty. And the Gauchos are at the 9. First and goal. Trying to tie this game up. Ardoin breaks it outside, looking for the goal line. He is in. Touchdown, Gauchos. Marshawn Ardoin's second touchdown of the night with 11:49 to go in the fourth quarter. A 4-play, 35-yard drive that took just 59 seconds. And El Cerrito going to call a timeout here to talk over this conversion attempt. Not much confidence in the kicking game. They went for 2 before. They got it when Keelan Benjamin threw it up in the air for Jalen Harvey to go up and get in the back corner. And now it looks like El Cerrito's going to go for 2 again here. Of course, if you had a reliable kicker, it's a spot that you would normally just kick it through the uprights and take a 1-point lead, but El Cerrito doesn't have that kind of confidence in their kicking game. So the 2-point conversion attempt for the Gauchos. They'll keep it on the ground, looking for the goal line, jumping up in the air. Ardoin is in, 16-14. El Cerrito is in the lead with 11:49 to go. And the El Cerrito fans chanting Campo, taunting the Campolindo bench and fans. Not sure you want to do that. A lot of time left in this game. But we've got a good one. 2 big-time contenders in Bay Area football, Northern California football. Campolindo ranked 4th in the East Bay rankings, according to Bay Area News Group. El Cerrito ranked 10th. As Campolindo gets to about the 31 on the kickoff return. In the Bay Area rankings, according to Mitch Stevens, Campolindo 10th, El Cerrito 19th. As we mentioned before in our rankings, or Harold Auben's rankings he does for us, he has Campolindo 10th, and he doesn't have El Cerrito in his top 20. Gaucho saying, what's up with that? And they're making a case right now. Nonetheless, even if they don't win this game, making a case. Campo starts at the 32 with 11:41 to go. In the bowl rankings, in Northern California Division III, Campo's ranked 2nd and El Cerrito's ranked 6th. And flags come down before the Cougars run a play. More scoring in the second half after it was 7-0 Campolindo at the break. happy to be at this one. Stevens. Been off target with some of his deep balls tonight, and this one incomplete. Looking for Windat. Stevens. Just not having the best night for accuracy. Normally a very accurate quarterback. This is sometimes when you see the really good ones still come through with that gutty performance, even when it's not their best night. And we'll see if Stevens can pull this game out. A lot of time left. 2nd down and 15. And we have a break in the action, some confusion. Two receivers lined up at the bottom here. And 2nd and 15. Stevens has a lot of time. Now flush to his right. A flag comes down. And he gets about 6 or 7 on that keeper, but we might have a defensive holding here as that flag came in near the El Cerrito secondary. Long conversation. And they're wiping away the flag. So it gives Stevens 6 yards on that carry, and it's 3rd and 9. 2 for 7 on 3rd down is the Campolindo offense. An offense that came in averaging 39 points per game and 383 yards per game. They've been held to 163 yards tonight. And still some confusion over on the sideline. And now we've got a flag, and this might be going against the Campolindo bench. Or what's this? What's going on here? An illegal substitution on El Cerrito. Well, I wonder if the Campolindo bench convinced the refs to throw that one. That was obviously a very late flag. A lot of confusion going on. It's been a while since we've seen a play. They still got to mark off the penalty. It's going to be 3rd and 4 after that 5-yard penalty, the 11th penalty against El Cerrito tonight. 11:27 to go. Seems like this 4th quarter started a long time ago, but we're only 33 seconds into the quarter. Stevens has a pocket across the middle, pass complete. 1st down to El Cerrito's half of the field. Philip Rye, wearing that number 26, listed as number 2 on the roster, makes the reception. And it's a gain of 14. 3 catches, 61 yards. Carry over the right side. Good yardage for the Campolindo ground game, which has not had a lot of room to run. Nikki Aikawa, who has that touchdown. gets 7. Campolindo started at their 32. Now at the Gaucho 41. Trailing by 2. This is Christian. It's really hard to differentiate between the jerseys of Christian and Rye. I'm confusing them both. That was Christian certainly on the carry. And he gets the first down. One's 28 and one's 26. And this is Christian again, and Campolindo getting a big push from their offensive line. They lost a lot of talent from last year's team on offense and defense. And El Cerrito had too many guys in the field, a little bit late running off. Well, they do actually get off in time. Had a bunch of fans yelling about the 12 on the field. And on 2nd down and 2, big hit as Christian is stopped right near that first down marker. I was saying Campolindo last year lost a lot of talent, but of the talent come back on offense, they brought back a quarterback and 3 offensive linemen. Fans are yelling 12 again as El Cerrito's got too many guys on the field. El Cerrito's all out of sorts. This is going to be their 12th penalty of the night. They nearly had 12 on the field on the play before. It technically is an illegal substitution penalty. But that's 85 yards in penalties, 12 penalties. And Campolindo's now at the 24. With inside 9 minutes to go. And now we have movement by El Cerrito. Another offsides penalty. We've seen that too often. If El Cerrito loses this game, they're going to look at this possession where they have just shot themselves in the foot defensively. They've played well defensively, but the penalties keep adding up. And really avoidable penalties. They're at the 19 as Campolindo. Keep it on the ground, Aikawa. And Aikawa, just 150 pounds. Gets about a yard. Campolindo led 7-0 at the half. El Cerrito took an 8-7 lead. Campolindo scored a touchdown to go up 14-8 with 3:38 to go in the third. Early in this fourth quarter, El Cerrito went back in front on Marshawn Ardoin's touchdown and the 2-point conversion run by Ardoin to make it 16-14. And that's where we stand now with 7:42 remaining. And a timeout called by Campolindo, their second timeout. Each team has just one timeout remaining. El Cerrito hoping to have a team this year that can go deep into the playoffs. They have not gone deep into the playoffs in 6 years since they made the Class 2A semifinals. But to advance deep, you're going to have to beat some really good teams. It's very stacked at the Division III level with teams like Campolindo and Bishop O'Dowd and, of course, Marin Catholic. Salesian, probably be a Division III team. We'll see if they can finish off a win here. They're up 2, but Campolindo is at the 18 with a 2nd down and 4. 7:39 left. Stevens going to be brought down for a huge loss. El Cerrito led that one all the way. Austin Harper, the 5'8", 170-pound senior, was not fooled. And that's a huge loss of 12 yards. And so a 2nd down and 4 becomes a 3rd and 16. Looking the right way the whole way, caught by Justin Dunn. Dunn forced out near the 20. Well shy of the 1st down, but it makes it a more makeable field goal. And Campolindo's got one of the best kickers around. And Christian Antizana, 140-pound junior, looking to give his team the lead with 6:51 left. This will be a 38-yarder. He had the game-winning field goal in the NCS championship game against Marin Catholic. And this one is going to miss left. And the El Cerrito fans erupt. The missed field goal with 6:45 left. Still a lot of time left in this one. It does lead to El Cerrito taunting Campolindo with the Campo cheers. Even the cheerleaders on the track with those Campo taunts. Great matchup tonight in Moraga, and this is going to be a good one again if they meet in the NCS playoffs. Hand off Ardoin, and he is stopped for minimal gain. I'll give him a yard. He's got 70 yards tonight on 14 carries and both El Cerrito touchdowns. El Cerrito trying to overcome 4 turnovers and 13 penalties. .6:03 left. Benjamin looking the far sideline. Complete, but a short gain. It's going to be about 5 yards shy of the 1st down as Harvey makes the reception. His 5th catch of the night, just 27 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up. Now the Campo fans trying to get into this. 5:25 remaining. Cougar defense trying to get a stop. Keelan Benjamin's got 2 backs with him. Trying to weight down this play clock. The pitch, Ardoin. He's not going to get there. Campolindo's defense comes up strong. Joe Holden, a safety, helping with the stop. Give it about 3 for Ardoin. It makes it about a 4th and 2. You've got Dunn and Wendat back to return. They've let it last few punts bounce, and we'll see where this one lands. Cougars could end up with really good field position here. The punter for El Cerrito is James Rice. El Cerrito letting that clock run here, but there's a lot of time left. And this one is a kick back to Windat, who will call the fair catch inside his 35. Pretty good punt there from Rice. Campolindo's got 4:11 on the clock, trailing by 2. They won this game a year ago 16-13 when they played at El Cerrito, and now the Gauchos trying to return the favor here in Moraga, leading 16-14. Brett Stevens keeps it on the ground with Aikawa, who does not have much, as Derek Calhoun, who's having a good season as a junior linebacker, makes the stop. Brett Stevens, 10 of 22 tonight for 101 yards and a touchdown. I'm sure he'll tell you not his best night throwing the football, but he's got a chance to deliver a win to this team, and he's delivered so many of them these last few seasons. Play action, looking to throw, looking for Windat. Overshot him again. 3rd down and 9. Coming up for the Cougars, who are 2 for 8 on 3rd down. And a program that has won 17 of their 18 games over the last 2 seasons. May need to get it here. If they don't get it and punt the ball to El Cerrito, there is a chance they could get it back, certainly, but they only have 1 timeout remaining. There's 3:26 right now showing on the clock. They need to get to the 44 for a first. Again, Stevens has a pocket, wants to throw, but into the sideline. He was looking for Jack Davis. 4th down for the Cougars. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. Nope, now Stevens starts walking off, and they are going to punt. Their defense just came up with a 3 and out, and that's what they're pinning their hopes on with 3:18 to go. Excellent job by the Gaucho defense tonight. Get the feeling they might have to come up with another stop before this one is through. And it is a very short punt. Nearly some extracurricular activity after the play. Campolindo fans wanting a flag. El Cerrito starts at their own 44. 3:13 to go. Campolindo's got 1 timeout. Keelan Benjamin. Hands off, Ardoin. Good hole for Ardoin. He takes it to midfield. And 6 yards for the senior back. Came into this game with 5 touchdowns, adding 2 more to that total tonight. Clock is at 2:46 and counting. Campolindo still has that timeout in their pocket. Keelan Benjamin's going to try to run down the play clock here. Back judge counting it down. This is Ardoin again, and this time he'll be stopped. Among the first ones there was J.D. McPhee, the senior linebacker, stopping him for no gain. So third down coming up for the El Cerrito offense. 3rd and 4 as Campolindo uses up their final timeout with 2:23 to go. Third down and 4. Campolindo fans, some of them on their feet. Ball at midfield. 2:23 to go. El Cerrito trying to run out this clock. Campo defense trying to force their second straight 3 and out. Benjamin's going to run himself. Tries to charge in a few tacklers, but he can't get to the first down. He gets only a yard, bringing up a 4th and 3. So 4th down and 3. The clock at 1:51 and counting. Campolindo can't stop the clock anymore. They're out of timeouts. But they've got a good kicker, of course, even though he did miss that 38-yarder with 6:45 to go. El Cerrito trying to use up as much clock here as they can, and there's some confusion over who should be on the field, and we've seen plenty of confusion tonight for El Cerrito. And they're going to get another penalty. Delay of game penalty is going to push them 5 yards back. Fourth down. Obviously punting from their own 46-yard line. James Rice standing at his 34. 1:30 to go. And this is a booming kick by Rice. It's going to bounce the 11, and El Cerrito tries to keep it from the end zone, but it is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Boy, they nearly could have downed that ball, and Campo will take over at the 20 with 1:20 to go. Great game. We're expecting a great finish. Kevin Macy said this game was like a springboard for his team a year ago. They won 16-13 at El Cerrito, and they gained a lot of confidence from that game and going forward. And now El Cerrito is going to use up their final timeout with 1:20 to go. I was thinking they were going to maybe hold on to a timeout. Call Michael Mowry, your home loan purchase and loan finance expert at 925-967-3055. Let Michael Mowry at CNA Equity be your bridge to your most profitable equity partners. Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria, the place to go after the game. Open late, full bar, longtime supporter of high school sports in the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek. That's Rocco's. Stop by Rocco's this weekend and watch some college and NFL football. Plenty of TV screens for your liking. So here we go. 1:20 to go. Brett Stevens looking, complete. Justin Dunn. Dunn tries to get out of bounds, and he does get out of bounds. Shy of the first down. The 25th pass attempt of the night for Stevens. He's got 110 yards passing. First completion of the night to Dunn. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. 2nd and 1. Stevens looking for the far sideline. He took a huge hit as he delivered that ball. Johnny Tulliver, the 275-pound junior nose guard delivering the shot. Stevens, 11 of 26 passing tonight. Was over 60% passing coming into this game. Well, Cerrito defense doing very well. It's 3rd and 1, so let's see what Campolindo does here with 1:10 to go. Of course, a first down would stop the clock, and they had Stevens run for himself, and he's got a good gain, and then he is tripped up past the 40-yard line up to the 42. Ends up being about 13 yards for Stevens. Clock will stop with 1:04 to go as they move the chains. They will restart it after they get those chains situated. Stevens looking for the short pass. Complete. Dunn bounces off a big hit and then gets out of bounds. And that fires up the Campolindo bench as Marcellus Pippins delivered a big shot. And Pippins looked like he might be a little bit shaken up. No, he's now going to try to hurry back to his corner position. Great job by Dunn there. If he gets tackled in bounds, that clock will continue to roll. Instead, it's a no gain, but the clock stops with 53 seconds to go. Dunn, a contributor on Campolindo's NCS runner-up basketball team as a sophomore last season. 2nd and 10. Stevens has time. Near sideline pass incomplete. No receiver was running the short route. Our official looking to see if it was a grounding penalty, but I think they're going to now talk about whether Stevens was out of the pocket or not. It could be a late flag here. They're talking over and they're going to say no, he was out of the pocket. And I agree with that. So it's 3rd down and 10, but 48 seconds to go. You're thinking to get a decent field goal try here. They're going to need close to 30 yards. Stevens, near sideline. Pass complete to Windack. Nice catch along the sideline by Windack, close to a first down. Clock stops, 43 seconds to go. And you can see Stevens getting a little bit more accurate here as he tries to move his team to a win. Both teams out of timeouts. 43 seconds to go. Campolindo with the ball at the El Cerrito 47. Great night of football here on BayPreps.com. Pat O'Rourke with you from Moraga. Beautiful night. Stevens. Pass incomplete. Intended for a Rye. The 30th pass attempt of the night for Stevens. He came into this game with 55 attempts through 3 contests. 39 seconds to go. Campolindo obviously can't afford to get tackled in bounds unless they get a first down. But you're going to lose a lot of clock if you get tackled in bounds before getting to that marker. It's a 2nd down and 10. And now we've got movement, and this is going to move Campolindo back. False start. Penalties have hurt both sides. El Cerrito's got 14 of them, and that was Campolindo's 9th. Stevens. Near sideline. Pass complete. Justin Dunn. Short gain, though. Only a couple yards. And the clock stops with 34 seconds to go. Very glad we got to do this ball game tonight. Great matchup. 2 very good teams. Major contenders in the NCS and those bowl rankings. And Campolindo down 2 with 34 seconds left, facing a 3rd and 8 here. Stevens' pass, incomplete. He was looking for Dunn again, and if that one's on target, Dunn has some run to room down that far sideline, and I think if that one's on target, Dunn might be able to get a first down out of it. Instead, it's 4th and 8 and 30 seconds to go. A stop here and El Cerrito wins. The winner goes to 4-0. Campo fans making some noise. A lot of pressure on the offense here. The defending NCS champions have won 17 of their last 18. Man in motion, it's Windat. Stevens looking for Windat. Windat's going to try to get to the marker, and he is not going to do so. El Cerrito stops him well shy, and the Gauchos come to Moraga, and they're going to win this game 16-14. What a ball game, and we hope to see this one again in the postseason. Definitely major contenders in Division III. .22 seconds to go, and all it's going to take is one kneel down with Campolindo out of timeouts. And that will do it. Congratulations to the El Cerrito Gauchos. Hard-fought battle, and El Cerrito as the final seconds tick off. Celebrate. You can see very pumped up along their sideline as they shake hands at midfield. The El Cerrito Gauchos. Fantastic defense in this one tonight. 16-14 after Campolindo won on their home field a year ago. 16-13. We'll take a break on the audio side. You're watching high school football action on BayPreps.com. Pat O'Rourke going through the final stats for tonight as El Cerrito picks up the 16-14 win. Total yards, Campolindo ends up with more total yards tonight, 225 to 213 for El Cerrito. But let's recap the scoring first. El Cerrito trailed 7-0 at the half, but Campolindo fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half. And on the very next play, Marshawn Ardoin scored a touchdown, and the two-point conversion pass to Harvey put El Cerrito in front 8-7 very early on in that third quarter. Campolindo, though, put together a 9-play, 95-yard drive with 3:38 to go in the third. And Nicky Aikawa scored the touchdown from 5 yards out. The extra point put Campolindo in front 14-8. Early in the fourth quarter, though, capitalizing on a short field, it was Ardoin again. 9-yard touchdown run, capping a 4-play, 35-yard drive with 11:49. That was very early on in the fourth quarter. The two-point conversion run by Ardoin was the difference to make it 16-14, and El Cerrito able to hold on. There was a missed field goal from Christian Antezana with 6:45 to go from 38 yards out. But El Cerrito's defense putting together a tremendous effort. Campolindo's toughest times moving the football these last couple seasons on offense have been against El Cerrito's defense. El Cerrito right now celebrating with their families. Not sure if we're going to have time for a post-game interview. Let's run down the stats. Ardoin, 17 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keith Benjamin, 1 carry, 15 yards. Anderson, 1 carry, 4 yards. Marcellus Pippin's a carry of 2 yards. And Keelan Benjamin, the quarterback, 9 carries, 33 yards. Benjamin through the air was 10 of 18 for 80 yards. He threw 4 interceptions, but all of those were in the first half. They did not have him throw the ball as much in the second half. Jalen Harvey had 5 catches, 27 yards, also had that 2-point conversion catch. Keith Benjamin, 4 catches, 29 yards. Pickett had 1 catch, great one-handed catch for 24 yards. El Cerrito did have 14 penalties for 95 yards tonight. They ended up with 213 yards, 133 on the ground, and 80 through the air. Campolindo, Brett Stevens threw the ball 33 times tonight. He was 15 of 33 for 125 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. He also ran the ball 10 times for 20 yards. He was their, well, he was going to be their leading rusher, but it was actually Christian, the leading rusher, Isaac Christian tonight, unofficially 7 carries for 27 yards. Rye, 1 carry, 5 yards. Windat, 3 carries, 17 yards. Santaguida, 6 carries, 15 yards. And Nicky Aikawa, 5 carries, 16 yards. Campolindo just 100 yards on the ground tonight. That was a concern for Coach Macy coming into this game. Receiving-wise, Windat had 7 catches for 50 yards, including the touchdown. Dunn, 3 catches, 11 yards. And Rye, 3 catches, 61 yards. Davis, 1 catch, no yards. Campolindo did have 9 penalties for 60 yards. But they go down to defeat tonight. Their first regular season loss of these last 2 seasons, and their toughest time moving the football statistically has come against the El Cerrito defense. Tonight, just 225 yards for a team that came in averaging 383 yards a game. And again, we hope to see this matchup once again in the postseason. Trying to see if this is going to be, and it looks like we are going to sign off from tonight's broadcast with the El Cerrito win, 16-14, the final score. And like we said, 2 major contenders in Division III, and it ends up going El Cerrito's way tonight, and we'll see if these teams meet again in the postseason. Thanks to everyone for their hospitality here at Campolindo, including Coach Kevin Macy, Athletic Director Bob Wilson, and also the event coordinator, Wendy Dunn, for their hospitality here in Moraga tonight. The final score, 16-14 in favor of El Cerrito. They come on the road, they win tonight, they trail at the half, and come back and win, beating a team that beat them by a 16-13 count a year ago. Thanks to producer and engineer Jerry Gerard. I'm Pat O'Rourke. You're watching a presentation of high school football on BayPreps.com. Have a good night.